Hey everyone, welcome back to Love and Light Studios. We're about to learn some more.
Yeah.
Let's learn. I know a little bit about this one, but not much, just because I had a dream and somehow that's in this, but I don't know. Other than that, I have no earthly idea what we're doing.
Well, I'll break it down for you.
Okay, good.
All right, listen. The name of this, I thought it was funny. Go green. Whatever that means to anybody, let us think in a minute. Okay. Listen. Okay. We just done a video called Fresh. You don't really have to watch it before this one, but if you do, you'll kind of understand. She sent me something, I looked up something, this. So anyways, we're still on that rabbit trail, basically. The name of the video before this was Fresh. Okay, so I'm just going to read now, because y'all wasn't here for all of this, so I don't want to get confusing. Okay. While doing my study on the word fresh, which was from our last video, I ran across a translation for the Hebrew word re'anan, which means luxuriant, growing in extreme abundance, fresh or green. As soon as I read it, I knew God was wanting to say something about green, just as he did with the fresh on the previous video. Then I remembered you telling me sometime back that God had shown you the color green. So once again, this started us down the path of what our Father is wanting to say through random stuff in our day, which really ain't random, but we take anything, we take everything. What are you saying, Father? We take time out of our schedule, time out of whatever we're doing. What do you want to say, Father? We posture our hearts for it, and our videos is exactly what happens. So it'll go here, 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 it'll go me, it'll go you. It's just crazy. And also that's unity too. And I was going to tell you earlier, I read something, never thought about it like this, but it fits here, so I'll go ahead and use it. You don't find community, you build community. Right? Because you always think, let me find a community that believes like this. Let me find a community that'll be good, place for my... Nah, you build it. So now ask yourself, what are you building? First of all, within your own family. Right? Then your own friends, then your own city. Well, we can go to state because that's what we've been doing. We all the way down Miami, Tampa, Daytona. Oh God, and Florida! Oh God, Florida, my shirt. Jesus help me.
And it's green.
Oh my God.
He had her change earlier, and she didn't even understand. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I have green on." I'm like, "Of course you did." So, yeah, and Florida. Yep.
Wow. Okay,
Yep.
guys.
Yep.
All right. So, the
Green.
green Jesus.
All right. Are we ready for the dream or not yet?
Well, we are,
The
but
green dream or not?
I really like when God did like to play
Yeah.
Go Green,
Okay.
because you know the environmentalist or whatever. Go green, go green,
Yeah.
go green. And a lot of people, not saying you can't, take care of the earth and, respect it and all that. But a lot of the environmentalists or the people that go green, they put it at a place they shouldn't. Like idolize it, right? They're obsessed with it. So when he said go green, I'm like, not only is he speaking back and forth with me and you in a dream, all that, he's talking to, I believe, everybody, environmentalists or whoever, with the ones that put it in the wrong place, right? Under the headship of God, it's fine. Outside of that, as something you're worshiping, you might not even know you are, it's a problem, right? So we seem to go way overboard this way or way overboard that way. The enemy does not care which way you go way overboard, as long as you ain't what you're supposed to be doing down the middle and letting everything weigh itself out and just being free and living your life. So it's so far either way. So anyway, I thought that was cool when he said go green. I wouldn't necessarily put that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so before God, when we were building this hydroponic greenhouse, we attempted to do everything green, biodegradable bags and containers. And you guys, I probably spent 6 months, hundreds of hours, thousands of dollars, way obsessing about trying to get it to backyard compost, not commercial, called the manufacturers, where are they getting it from, trying to get everything as earth friendly as I could. And it was an obsession. And I spent a lot of time, money, effort, energy, thinking I was doing something great for the earth, but I was atheist, so I mean, it wasn't under the headship of God, and it was just chaos. You hear chaos.
And see, that's what I was about to say before she said it. Now, I was working, with her. She didn't believe in God and all that. I was just doing my thing. I didn't force nothing on nobody. I just lived, But that's exactly what that felt like from my point of view. I didn't say nothing to her. Chaotic, torment. It's just, you can't even explain it. She couldn't get no rest. She couldn't do nothing. Just chaos. Mm-hmm. That is a sign that this is wrong. This is not what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Now, do I believe we're to do the best we can, try not to poison, people or ourselves or whatever? But because where we live has so much of all of this stuff in every single thing we touch and do, you can't go but so far. And I told some friends of mine this weekend, I'm like, I'm doing the best I can, trying to be healthy and do all that. And then I trust God for the rest. So if I eat something because I can't maybe afford to go get the organic or do that, and I eat it, I bless it. God, don't let this harm or hurt my body. Protect me, Lord. I thank you. And I believe He'll do it. Why? Because He died for our healing and all of that. So this is the beginning stage of us starting to walk these things out. So I don't think it's no coincidence that He said go green. No. Then all the things we've even done this morning that's confirming it, even behind the scenes of go green. Mm-hmm. So if you're one of those, I wasn't, but if you're one of those that is doing what she says and you're exhausted and you're tired and your family's falling apart or your marriage or your kids ready or whatever it looks like, God is trying to help us. So let's reevaluate ourselves, our situation, how we live. Take a few minutes and listen. Posture your heart and your ears to hear what the Spirit is wanting to say to you through this message. Because she was one of the greatest people I'd ever met. Even as an atheist, she just had a good heart, tried to do chaos, crazy, running around. But now, she does the best she can as God shows us or tells us, but peaceful. And y'all seen it, but that's what I wanted to say about that, because if you go overboard and it becomes idolatry. Yeah. If it's an idol for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now, this was a dream, right?
This was a dream about the color green. And imagine that. We're going to talk about gardens. Lots of green. All right. So in this dream, there were 3 houses. Karen and Mama had a house. Then it was me right next to them. And then I have no idea who was in the 3rd house. This person in the 3rd house tried to make Karen feel bad about her garden because theirs was like perfect. We were just talking about, it was like a perfect garden, perfect rows, everything was perfect. Kind of bragging about it, like bragging about her. Look at this garden, and it was perfect. It was like, Martha Stewart's garden or something crazy like that. So then I say something, Karen is called more to do than gardening. She's called to teach us. That's what she's called to do. Then all of a sudden, the color green was everywhere in the dream. After I said that to that person, basically, let's kind of go back. They were pointing out their garden, how beautiful and perfect it was, and trying to make Karen feel bad about their garden. And if you know Karen, she ain't gonna feel bad about that. But in the dream, that's what was happening. And then I say, Karen's not here to do gardening. She's here to teach us. The whole room everything was green, and that's all there was a green color. Then I stopped talking. Karen says, God told me I am here to teach. That's what I'm here to do, is to teach. And I'm like, girl, the presence of God was so strong, I had to have Karen stop talking. I couldn't even talk anymore. And that was it. That was the dream. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that after when I was doing the fresh thing, and then I looked up this and it kind of freaked me, so I knew. Then I remembered. Yeah. Sometimes it'll go the other way. I'll remember first or later. Right. He just does everything, and you mentioned it before. So It's really cool. So we're going to go on with this Go Green, okay? In the Bible, fresh and green often symbolizes spiritual vitality, enduring prosperity, and a connection to God's grace. The definition on vitality is the state of being strong and active or energy. Okay? So fresh is a video we did before this. Now we're talking about green. Same principle. Vitality, enduring prosperity. Okay? Keep this in your mind. Or question, kind of see where you're at in this. Okay? Now I'm going to do the definition of enduring prosperity. Do we want to know what enduring prosperity? So if you're prosperous, you know, you're stable financially or in whatever you need. But enduring. Now listen. A state of long-lasting wealth, success, and well-being that extends beyond temporary financial gain or fleeting happiness. Mm-hmm. See, with God, it stays consistent. It's something, it's who you are, basically. Mm-hmm. So if He's already love, happiness, and all of that, that's what we're going to be. But a lot of times it comes and goes, mainly because we're in and out with our relationship or our mindsets or whatever. Okay, it's not only successful and thriving, but lasting. So it's going to be thriving and it's going to last, right? It suggests a condition that is not temporary or fleeting, but rather continues for a long time. Anybody want to be prosperous like that? This can include material wealth, but it also extends to spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. Because I'm sure, as everybody knows, just being prosperous in money, no. It's not. You're not going to feel happy, even though you might think you are. You've got to have it spiritually, mentally, and physically. And our channel, that's what God says all the time. Actually, we got a video on mental health. We talk about this all the time. Listen, it's a continuous state of flourishing. Flourishing. Continuous. You see me doing this right now? Never stop. So this is what I can do. This is what it means. It's continuous state of flourishing. Flourishing. You still going? Yeah? Never stop, actually. Mm-hmm. Are you flourishing like that? Okay. Enduring prosperity is often built upon principles like wisdom, ethical living, and good deeds, which can create a more sustainable and lasting success. And I'm not talking about works. I'm talking about God, under God as the headship of you doing good things or helping people or whatever it is. But listen, wisdom, that's being smart enough to listen to other people, listen to the Spirit of the Lord, listen to the Bible, right? All of these things, the enduring prosperity I just read is often built upon these principles. And I'm just pulling a few out. It suggests a life that continues to flourish and bear fruit, right? Even in old age, like the righteous individuals mentioned in Psalm 92:14. For in your presence they will still overflow and be anointed. Even in their old age they will stay fresh, bearing luscious fruit and abiding faithfully. And when I would speak in our class and stuff, God always had me intentionally tell the older people, now I'm older, but tell the older people, no, God is not done with you. So if anybody listening to us that's older, God still has a purpose and a plan for you. Mainly guiding and helping the next generation and then the next generation. But there's a lot more to it. And I would ask God, because even in your old age, you'll still be overflowing. You'll be anointed. You'll stay fresh, bearing luscious fruit and abiding faithfully. So I would always tell them, no, don't let the enemy tell you that you ain't worth nothing or you can't do nothing but just sit around or whatever. And if you do have to sit around, you can pray for the next generation. You can pray for things. There's so many things you can do. Everyone is needed in the kingdom. And I think that's what God's trying to do, is put everybody where they're needed in their proper position, instead of somebody trying to do something that somebody else is called to do and you're not. That's why it looks like it does, and it's so chaotic, or just, you get what I'm saying? So if I was trying to stay in your lane, it would not be successful. It would be chaotic. So it don't matter your age. You see, that's kind of what he's saying.
Yeah.
And who wants to bear luscious fruit, right? For the kingdom, we all do. This passage emphasizes that those who are rooted in God, see, these are key words, right? Rooted in God, like a tree planted in his house, will continue to bear fruit and stay fresh and green, even in old age. This highlights the enduring nature of spiritual vitality, which is the strength and the active and the energy that we keep talking about. This highlights the enduring nature of spiritual vitality and the ongoing ability to serve God. Psalm 23:2 in the NIV, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. And you can look up that whole Psalm 23. It'll break it down for you. This is what he does with his children. The green pastures in this psalm represent the provision and the abundance found in God's care. The phrase, he makes me lie down in green pastures, suggests a place of rest, nourishment, and protection under God's watchful eye. You talk about resting a lot, don't you? He died so we could rest in him. Green is a color often associated with life and prosperity in the Bible. You just don't think about that, or I don't. You know, I've read the Bible my whole life, but I love how he points out things just random that go green, okay? You had a dream, boom, it pricks my spirit, and of course it's in the Bible. You see what I mean? You just don't think of it sometimes. I don't. It evokes images of thriving vegetation, which in turn can represent the spiritual vitality and flourishing of those who are connected to God. So if you call yourself connected to God, this is what it's going to look like. If that is not what you look like, please reassess your relationship with God and ask him what's going on. Okay? Spiritual symbolism of green often revolves around nature, growth, healing, and new beginnings. It's associated with vitality, abundance, and a sense of renewal, reflecting the vibrancy and life-giving aspects of the natural world. Green can also symbolize balance, harmony, and peace. Like you ask a farmer, they get out there in their field, they just have the time of their life, they're so peaceful. But it's making it a soothing and reassuring color. So God did that on purpose. So you mean to tell me he did green so we would feel balance, harmony, peace? You see what I mean? Just tying this stuff in, it's awesome. Green is closely tied to the concept of rebirth and growth, mirroring the way nature evolves through seasons and cycles. It suggests a fresh start, new opportunities, and the potential for personal development. And that's one of the big things here at Love and Light, personal development. Green is often associated with healing and well-being, both physically and emotionally. It's believed to promote relaxation and a sense of peace, contributing to overall well-being. How do you feel about it when you, do you relax when you go? I think I've heard you say that when you get in the garden or you get your hands dirty.
I love playing in the dirt, seeds, growing things. Yes, it's completely relaxing.
But you never knew.
No, but I love it outside. I just love it. It's peaceful. It's calm. I've always loved just playing in the dirt.
Now you know why.
Yeah.
It was intended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Green, and I think sometimes like, why did he make the trees green and this, that color, and this? But you see, it's just so awesome. Green can also represent vitality, which is strength, and the energy needed to overcome challenges. We're going to do a video on overcoming We have to overcome. God died so we can overcome. And a lot of people want to overcome. They ain't got the energy, the strength. Because they've allowed themselves, the world or the enemy or whoever, to just keep beating them down, or speaking negative, or no boundaries. So it's kind of like depression. You can't get up. I just don't got the energy. Or you would overcome the challenges because you want to. See how all this stuff ties in?
Wow.
Just let's go. Just baby steps. Just pick somewhere and let's get it. Green is inherently linked to the natural world, representing the beauty, abundance, and life-giving power of the earth. It symbolizes our connection to nature and our responsibility to protect it. Jeremiah 17:8 in the Passion, he is like a tree planted on the riverbank, extending its roots into streams of water. It does not fear when scorching heat comes, for its leaves remain fresh and never fading, even in a year of drought. It has no anxieties, but continues to bear luscious fruit. Is that you? Is that you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You ain't scared of the scorching heat, are you?
Nope.
All right. Psalm 1:3 in the Passion. He will be standing firm like a flourishing tree planted by God's design, deeply rooted. We talked about that in a minute ago. Rooted by the brooks of bliss, bearing fruit in every season of life, not some, every season of life. He is never dry, never fainting, and ever blessed, ever prosperous. We just talked about enduring prosperity, right? So when you're positioned under the headship of God, this is what you will be. So if you're not, okay, it says never dry. So if you're dry some, then there's a problem. Maybe you got out from under that headship or that umbrella. I suggest get back under it. It's that easy. It ain't going to be a big deal. You step down, step back in. Right when you realize you're never dry, never fainting. You see kind of how he's putting this? Under him, that's how you're going to look. Right? So now let me just break it down a little bit. He will be standing firm like a flourishing tree planted. Planted in the commentary, or transplanted. That is, God planted our lives from where we were into a place of blessing. He transplanted. He made it right there in that mess. And then he boom. Okay, now let's go to prosperous. He is never dry, never fainting, ever blessed, ever prosperous. The metaphors found in this verse can be paraphrased as, no matter what he sets out to do, he brings it to a successful conclusion. Hasn't that been what God's been showing you? All the way. Finish it all the way. What kind of difference has that made in your life versus how you would do with the chaos, and you'd start something here and then jump to that because you had so many things going on, but you never brought it to a successful conclusion? Well, then all of a sudden you start believing in God, start living and listening. Everything you touch, you're bringing to a successful conclusion. And yes, I said everything because I've watched it, I've seen it, I know. If you're operating, do you want it to be a successful conclusion? Did it not do that?
Oh yeah, it's doing it, and we're still working on it. I mean, I'm still continuously working on it, and I'm sure I forever will be. But it's just, finish it all the way through. I look at it.
What does that feel like though, versus before, if you can remember?
It feels peaceful. It feels right. Things come together, and then now I can see, because I finished it all the way through, I can see the disaster that it would have been had I not finished it all the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listen, guys.
Yeah, like I can see it. Like this morning, short, quick little story about butter. I was working on a recipe that I've never made before. I was reading the recipe, and I was getting all the butter ready, and one recipe was 3 pounds, one was 6 pounds, so I'm getting all the butter ready, so it'll be softened for tomorrow. And then I get a text, and I'm getting ready to go somewhere, and normally I would have just stopped what I was doing, left the butter out, left everything, and just went, because I was waiting for this text to go do something. I'm like, no, I'm going to practice and I'm going to finish this all the way out. So I finished everything out. I had a question about one of the recipes that I've never made before. Asked the person that wrote it. They looked at it and they're like, oh, that recipe's wrong. It's supposed to be 3 pounds of butter, not 6. So had I just left everything out like before, I went here, actually, I came here, go back home, everything, I would have done double the butter, ruined the entire recipe, and not known it until later because the person wasn't there to answer a question. So because I finished it all the way through, double checked that I had the right amount of butter, realized the recipe was wrong, and the whole thing would have been chaotic. Chaos. Now I got to go to the store, and I don't have the ingredients. Now I got to go get this. Now I got to go get that. Ruined the whole entire batch, wasted time, energy, but I stopped. I took 2 minutes, finished it all the way through, cleaned up, and then here we are, and now everything's great. Yeah, that's the difference.
I mean, and that's this. I'm talking about a lifestyle, guys. I'm not talking about a go to church Sunday morning and then don't operate. I'm talking about a lifestyle. This is what this is. And I know everybody wants it because they're tired of living like that. They're tired of the chaos. I know. So let's get it. Proverbs 11:28 in the NIV. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. I had to put that in there for the green. Proverbs 11:28 in the Passion. The first one I did was the NIV. This is the Passion because I like both of them. Keep trusting in your riches and down you'll go. But the lovers of God rise up like flowers in the spring. Right? And how many people are excited for the spring to get here and all the beautiful flowers? That's what you look like. You put your trust in God. All right, green embodies balance and harmony, I said a little bit ago, both within oneself and relationships with others. Start with ourselves first, then you can do this. Well, first you and him, but you work it out within yourself, and then you can start doing that. Relationships nowadays are just a disaster. They are not anywhere near what God is wanting. It seems like it's getting worse. That's mainly because people are selfish. But listen, we're talking about green and all the beauty and all the things and what God is saying. So green embodies balance and harmony, both within oneself and relationships with others. It suggests a sense of peace, stability, and a connection to the natural rhythms of life. But listen, your relationship with her, listen to some of these key words I just said. Peace, stability, right? And a connection to your surroundings that God created, basically. That's going to help you with relationships. You see what I'm saying? You have that, then you can be in a relationship and you can give and take or listen or grow or whatever you want to call it. Right? Just like even our friendship, right? We got it. We get ourselves straight. You do that with God, your relationship. I do it, whatever. But then when it comes to both of us, no matter what's happening, there's peace there. Well, you're stable, I'm stable, so we have stability. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it starts coming together when you look at it like that. And green evokes feelings of hope and optimism, suggesting that positive change and growth are possible. It encourages a forward-looking perspective and a belief in the future. Basically, you'll have hope. So many people are hopeless now. If you're hopeless, listen to what we're saying. Listen to this video as many times as you need to, right? It encourages a forward-looking perspective and a belief in the future. Now, you're not planning it out because you trust in God by faith, but you know whatever that's going to be is going to be amazing. That right there, God's going to have His hand on. You see? It's beautiful. Okay, different shades of green. I thought this was interesting. Different shades of green can have slightly different nuances, which is shades of meaning. So the shades can have different meanings, basically. I think the color, when you said it on another thing, you said
Like pale green.
pale green.
Yes.
But it was still vibrant.
Yes.
And pale. You
Yeah.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but listen, and so I just picked this one. The meaning of the shade pale green is peace.
Imagine that.
And that's on Google. Just random. You know what I mean?
Imagine that,
Even
yeah.
Google has to tell it. You know? So,
Yeah.
Green represents growth, new life, creation, hope, and the transformative power of the Holy Spirit. Let Him transform you, right? This was interesting. Listen, manufacturers, military, environmentalists, healthcare industries, and advertisers use the color green to convey exactly what we've been saying.
That's wild.
So listen, it's not just me and you. We so crazy about Jesus. Y'all think everything's, no, the whole world. They just don't know how they're doing it. Because that, and I didn't even write down all, it was basically everything we were saying. The military, strong, tough, energy, active. They use green.
Yeah.
Manufacturers or environment go green. Why go green? Because God said grow green.